Hey, what's going on, Pats Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Cans Pats Talk Patriots podcast. Here today, man, about to recap week 4. I'm gonna do a quick recap tonight. We do got two Monday night football games tonight. We got the Dolphins playing the Titans tonight. Then we got the Seattle Seahawks playing Detroit Lions. But I know we all here for the Patriots and the 49ers recap. So hey, let's go ahead and jump right on in it, man. Hope all y'all doing good today. Go ahead and ask y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button on YouTube. Make sure you share the content on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever you at. Make sure you share the content on YouTube. Give me that thumbs up, man. I would really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. How y'all doing today, though, man? Got a lot to talk about, man. We're gonna do a quick recap tonight, man. These Patriots and the 49ers. Bad game. Bad game from the start, man. I know a lot of reports came out today that Drake May, Gerard Mayo said he's gonna stick with Jacoby Brissett as a starting quarterback. So that's one little nugget there. So going up against the Dolphins, which I'm gonna get break down that game later on this week, Jacoby Brissett would be the starting quarterback. But just to do a quick recap on the game from yesterday. I think you got to call it another disaster, another big. I think we played better than what we looked. We looked better than what we looked against the Jets. But I think that getting this 49er game, I think it was definitely better against the Jets. I mean, against the 49ers than the Jets. But the score still lopsided score. And if you look at the score, it could have been worse than that. The 49ers, they got a couple of touchdowns called back via penalty. I don't think I'm gonna get to the defense in a second. I think the offense, there's still a lot of problems on the offensive side of the ball. The offensive line is a major issue. Left tackle, we down to our fourth string left tackle yesterday. And I mean, if you look at the game closely, I think the first quarter, so we was kind of sticking with them, sticking with the 49ers. I'm not saying we would have won the game, but I mean, you had the pick six by Jacoby Brissett, Ramondre fumbling for the fourth straight game. Offensive line came, but no, but I actually thought that Jacobs played better. I think he played all right for what we asked him to do. He wasn't a train wreck. He wasn't bad. But I think you going up against Nick Bosa, man, that's a tough task, tall task for a first time starter, right? That was a tough task for him. But I thought he held his own for the most part. He did better than I thought he was going to do. So I think a good performance by him. I think that the offensive line it's a wreck. David Andrews got hurt. Speaking of injury, David Andrews got hurt. Let's see, Cal Duggar got hurt. Caden Wallace got hurt. So those three injuries right there, we haven't heard nothing on the injury front of those players yet. So I mean, we can't afford to lose David Andrews. We lose David Andrews, we really gonna be in trouble. So it's a shoulder injury. The fact they root him out so quick doesn't seem like good news, but who knows? Maybe we get lucky. I thought we'd been to heard something by now. We hadn't heard nothing yet on David Andrews, so maybe hopefully he can come back, use him. And then I'm like, speaking of Drake May, I don't think you. I mean, I already was on the edge of my seat of putting him in, but you definitely can't do it now with the start with your basically the motive of the card, which is David Andrews. He's basically the heart of the offensive line. With him being out, there's no way you can put Drake May in there now. So me personally, I thought that this Miami game coming up week 5, which I'm gonna get into later on this week, that was kind of like the sweet spot to put them in there. They playing tonight with no tour. They got Snoop Huntley starting tonight. I was like, okay, you're a home game. You coming back off 2 road games. You're home. The Dolphins don't without they starting quarterback. That's the best time to put him in. But now I don't think you can do that. Without David Andrews. No, I think if you Jacoby Brissett, you can go out. You probably can win that game. I mean, I think we can run the ball good enough, get some defense stop. I think that's a winnable game against Miami this Sunday. Nobody thought you'd beat 49ers. Nobody thought you'd beat the Jets. I mean, a lot of people didn't think you'd beat Seattle, but you came close to the Seahawks to overtime. They're playing tonight against Detroit Lions. So I mean, they're 1-3. It's about what I expected. I expected a 1-3 start. I actually think we could possibly be 2-2 because if we sneak away and get that Seattle game we went to overtime with, you're sitting there looking at a 2-2 team. And if I told me or myself that hey, we'll be 2-2 after the first quarter of the season, I'd be like, oh, I'll take that. I thought I was crazy at the time, but I'll take that. So the Dolphins playing tonight. Get a good scout and look at them tonight because they do travel to Gillette on Sunday. But on this 49ers front, man, like my thing is about Ramondre Stevenson. He got to hold on to the ball. I think he's fumbling too much, and then it's tough. You can't bench him because who's going to back him up? You don't have nobody that's going to come in. You got JaMychal Hasty, Gibson, Kevin Harris still. He's on the practice squad or whatnot. So you really don't have nobody to trust or whatnot. So it's kind of tough to bench on Ramondre for him fumbling. So I don't know what's going to be the cure for that because he's fumbled and he's lost the last 2 fumbles. So I think the fumble he lost against Seattle and Cincinnati, he actually got those back. But against the Jets, he lost a fumble, and yet last night against the 49ers, lost another fumble. So I think it's tough. You can't bench him. He's your best player. Jacoby Brissett, he has to play better. You have to get better quarterback play. I'm looking at all 22, looking at some of the film. Pop Douglas wide open on multiple times on the field. Pop Douglas was wide open on a lot of routes. Douglas is wide open. Jalen Poe, I thought he had a solid game yesterday. He had like 3 or 4 catches for 30 to 40 yards. That's pretty good for him as a rookie. But he was wide open a couple of times. Jacoby Brissett just missed him. It's like Jacoby Brissett just reading the field one time to this side. He's not even coming back. He's not even reading the whole feed. I think his clock, his internal clock is starting to get picked up. He's just starting to pick it up a little bit. He's rushing some of his throws. Um, he took a couple shots yesterday going deep, which is more than what he done in the previous games. He connected with one with Jalen Pope, but they ruled it out. They ruled him out of bounds or incomplete. But I like the fact that he did take a couple shots. But I think the play calling, well, Alex been put, the play calling has been bad. It's been real bad play calling. Been some bad play call. Panther play. What's going on with you, man? Long time no see. Long time no see. What's going on with you? Your Panthers. Hey, your Panthers are looking all right. I like what y'all been doing the past couple weeks since y'all sat Bryce Young down. I know you feeling good about them. They're looking pretty good though. I know it probably don't show on the win loss column, but they look real good. They actually look a lot more competitive. They look better than my guys. So congrats to your boys, man. I think y'all can get a couple of wins over there. I like what Andy Dalton is doing. But Brock Purdy had all day in the pocket yesterday. On the defensive line, Brock Purdy had all day in the pocket. I don't think it was nothing spectacular that they were doing or that he was doing. I just think there was no rush. I mean, and then if you know our offense going to go out there and go 3-and-out and give right back to the defense, I mean, our defense just got tired out. Brock Purdy had all day in the pocket yesterday. There's no pass rush. Keon White had a bunch of hurries, but he didn't get a sack. Detroit Wise had a sack. Josh Uche, I'm so done. I'm done with Josh Uche. He has no rush containment, no rush no rush discipline at all. I'm done with Josh Uche. I think he had a good solid year a couple years ago playing opposite Judon. When he had he had like 10 to 12 sacks. Other than that, Josh Uche, I don't know why we re-signed him. I'm over Josh Uche. Christian Gonzalez, clamp, Mr. Lockdown. He's been locking down. He'll bring Ayuk to 2 catches for 10 yards while he was guarding Ayuk. I think Ayuk finished like 40 yards, 40, 50 yards, something like that. But Christian Gonzalez held his own. Jabril Peppers, he balled out yesterday. Had an interception on Brock Purdy. I think the defense, they did what they could do, but they did. I mean, Jonathan Jones gave up a couple of big plays. I think Marcus Jones gave up one, but I don't think Brock Purdy did nothing spectacular. I just think it was a lot of what we didn't do. We didn't get pressure. Like we only got one sack. Had a bunch of hurries by Keon White, but really just one sack. So I think it was a lot of what we didn't do. And then Cal Duggar got hurt. I mean, he wasn't doing much before he got hurt. He got hurt on the field goal block. He got hurt, sprained ankle or something like that. We haven't heard nothing about it officially, so maybe he's gonna be out a while, maybe not. Who knows? But I think like the defense did what they could do. I thought the defense played better than what the final number indicate. We gave up 30 points, but I think the defense was only responsible for like about 2 touchdowns. Brock Purdy threw a crazy pass to George Kittle. He caught over 3 people. Jordan Mason ran one in, and then they got a pick six. They got a pick six from Fred Warner. A bad ball by Jacoby Brissett. So I think other than that, the defense, they held its own for the most part. They did what they could do. And as we all know, the defense can't go out on the field. You keep giving a good offense more opportunity. I mean, the defense is going to wear out at some point. So the defense just got tired of just holding its own. And, hey, we seen what happened. But back on the offense, I mean, DeMario Pop Douglas, couple catches. He didn't do much. Brissett's not even looking for him. I don't get why are we still using KJ Osborne and Taquan Thornton. They're useless. They're not doing anything. I do not understand. I'd rather play Polk, Pop, Kayshawn Booty, and then you got Javon Baker. Play the rookies, play the young guys. You're not getting nothing out of Taquan Thornton or KJ Osborne. Now, in saying that, you could say the reason why we're not getting nothing out of them is because of, hey, the offensive line can't block. Maybe Jacoby Brissett's not having enough time to see him. So it works both ways, but I'm like, you got to play the rookies. At least you got some type of upside there with those rookie, with the rookie receivers or whatnot. But I think until the offensive line gets fixed, it's not going to be a lot that you're going to be able to tell from the. You're not going to be a lot. You're not going to be. It's not a lot you're going to be able to tell from the receiver till you get the offensive line fixed. It starts in the trenches. Offensive line is bad right now, and there's no way I'm putting my franchise quarterback, the rookie, third overall pick Drake May. There's no way I'm putting him in behind that bad offensive line. You're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing him a disservice by doing that. You can't do that. You can't put him in there. There's no way you can put Drake May in behind that terrible offensive line. He's going to revert back into bad habits. And as much as I want to see him play, just as a watchable product, I want to see Drake May play. And I can see it from both sides of the spectrum. You got one side that say, okay, well, what is he learning behind Jacoby Brissett if Brissett's turning the ball over, taking sacks, and not really doing much? But then you got the side like, hey, this offensive line, you cannot put him in there right now. I don't think now's the time to put him in there. You can't put him in right now. And then you can say, hey, when is the offensive line going to get better? Well, I mean, you're not just going to get no Hall of Fame tackles in a couple of weeks or nothing like that. This is going to be your offensive line for the foreseeable future, for the rest of the year. So you're right. The offensive line isn't going to get better. So it's like, what are you waiting on? So it's you kind of right there in the middle, like you don't know what you're waiting on, but at the same time, you don't want to just get him hurt back there. And then you're going into next year not knowing what you got at quarterback. You want to go ahead. I think, me personally, I wouldn't play May to about later on in the year. I think we got Buffalo like the 2 of the last 3 games or 2 of the last 4 games, something like that. Play them like late November, early December, see what you got. Just wait till then. Then wait next year, you build around him. And maybe if he lights it up, plays good, maybe some free agent receivers or some talent will want to come to your team next year. I wasn't playing right now. You're not a Super Bowl team this year. You're not a playoff team this year. You're not doing nothing this year. And then again, and saying that you can say if you're not going to do anything this year, you don't have nothing to lose. It can't be much worse. You might always put him out there. He's your number 3 overall pick. So I kind of go back and forth with it, but my gut is telling me no, I don't want to put him out there right now. Let Brissett continue to play. Let him be the sacrificial lamb and whatnot. And then and hopefully Brissett stays healthy. Now Brissett gets healthy, of course, May's going to go in there. We all know what's going to happen. Brissett gets hurt, May's going in the game. I mean, that's what's going to happen. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens down the stretch with this team, man. But back on the offense, like Alex Van Pelt, the play calling has been bad. I mean, it's like run. I'm sitting in front of the TV watching, and it's like you can just see it's either going to be probably 2 runs. On third down, might be a play action pass, or you might go a shotgun pass at Hunter Henry. It's simple. I think it's too simple. There's no scheme. And then I think last week he had a press conference when he said that the offense with Jacoby Brissett would be different whenever we put Drake May in. So I'm like, if it's going to be different for May, what are we doing now then? How is May learning by looking at what's going on with Jacoby Brissett? I don't understand that. I got a few of y'all in here. Make sure I hit that like button on YouTube. Make sure you share the content if you're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm also on the Sideline Sports Network. Make sure you hit the like button there and share the content. I really appreciate it. Give me that thumbs up. But you gotta look at like what is he learning by sitting behind Jacoby Brissett? Because the past couple weeks, Jacoby Brissett has been playing losing football, getting sacked, taking bad sacks. It started in Seattle, against Seattle at home. Took the bad sack. If he eats that ball, well, I ain't gonna say if he gets rid of that ball. Now I ain't gonna say eat because that means you're taking the sack. Don't take the sack. If he throws that ball away, you're probably gonna get attention on grounding because you're still inside the tackle box. But I'm like, some of these plays, I'm like, I think Drake May gets away from somebody. He scrambles or he does something. It was a play last night in San Francisco. I saw Jacoby Brissett was rolling to his right, and he had popped those wide open around the middle. I don't know what the heck Jacoby Brissett was doing. He trying to make 2 or 3 guys miss, and then he gets, I think, probably Bosa or Malik Collins. One of them sacked. Might have been both of them. But he had popped those and running, waving his hand right. That's a play I think May makes. Roll to the right, and he throwing it right back. I think May makes that play. He gets out of you don't want your quarterback running for his life and getting outside the pocket and doing too much. You don't want him doing all that. But at the same time, like from a fan perspective, it's like, what do we have to what do we have to look forward to? If we're looking for a watchable product. So I get the fan opinion. I get that from a fan view. It's like we're sitting back as fans now. We're not part of the team. We're not in the media. We're not in the make it. We're not in the coaching decision. We don't know what's going on there. But from a fan, if you're going to watch a Patriots game, you're going to Gillette, Foxborough, Massachusetts, watch a game. You probably want to see your third overall pick quarterback. You want to see something splash. Hell, they probably want to see Joe Milton. See Joe Milton throw the ball down the field. You don't want to go there and see them run the ball, see Jacoby Brissett. So from a consumer standpoint and from just a fan view, it's kind of like, what do we have to look forward to? So I don't think changes are going to be made until probably the tickets go down or something like that, or probably when fans stop going to the game. Because I don't think we're going to see Drake May anytime soon. I don't think so. And I know reports came out last week that he's progressing. He's still taking 30% of the reps. And these reports came out from a lot of people. NBC, a lot of people at NBC said that. I know Phil Perry, Tom Curran, a lot of those guys said that. Albert Breer, one of good insight. He said that Jacoby said, Drake May is progressing. He's doing pretty good, and he's probably it's sooner rather than later. He's going to be starting right around the corner. Well, if he's not going to play this week against Miami, Gerard May already said that. He's not going to play against Miami. After Miami, we got the Texans. You're going to throw him out there then? I guess. Houston looks pretty good right now, 3-1. They just beat Jacksonville. They lost to Minnesota. They're 3-1. Their offense they're high rocket right now. They're playing real good. Then you go to London and play Jacksonville. You're going to play them overseas. You're going to start them then. That don't sound logical unless Brissett gets hurt. I think after the Jacksonville game, you got the Jets, I believe. You're going to throw them in there at home against that tough Jets defense. So I'm like, I don't know when where the soft spot in the schedule is going to be. The softest spot was this game here against Miami. No tour, you're at home, you're playing a third string quarterback. If that Miami defense ain't the best, we're about to see them in a little bit. They're about to play the Titans about 10, 15 minutes. But I'm gonna give my prediction on those two games in a minute. Miami and Tennessee and Seattle and Detroit. Y'all stay tuned to get my prediction on those two games. But it's like, when you gonna put him in there? When do you throw the rookie out there? You see what Jaden Daniels doing in Washington? He's playing pretty good. 82-point quarterback rating right now, passer rating. He's playing real good. They got it right, and they got just as bad of a roster as the Patriots. The only difference, they got a number one receiver. Washington offensive line isn't that good. Their defense show ain't good. They're in just as bad a predicament as the Patriots are, but they threw the quarterback out there. Now, saying all that, Jaden Daniels had a lot of time in college. He played like 5-6 years in college, played a lot of college ball. So, we can see that. He can move a little bit better. Drake May can move, but Jaden Daniels moves. He's closer to Lamar Jackson. Like, he can move. And he got that team. They beat Arizona yesterday 42-14. Put a whooping on them. Jaden Daniels is the real deal. Look what's going on in Chicago. Caleb Williams, they won yesterday. Caleb Williams threw another test. They beat the Rams. Now, he has a lot of turnovers this year. He's taking the beat. He's been sacked a lot. Caleb Williams has been sacked left and right all freaking year. So far, that Bears offensive line is terrible. I think it's probably right up there with the Patriots. Bo Nix, he just beat Aaron Rodgers in the Jets yesterday, throwing for under 100 yards, threw for 70 yards. And they beat the Jets. Bo Nix led the Broncos to a win against the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers with a final score of 10-9. So, those rookies, they're in bad situations. Caleb Williams, you got some receivers, but having received, that ain't worth it. That ain't if you can't block, and he's been getting sacked. I watched the game a couple weeks ago against the Texans. He couldn't stand a chance on Sunday Night Football. They were getting after him. Bo Nix looked bad yesterday for like 3 quarters. He threw a touchdown to Cortland Sutton. Other than that, he didn't do much. He's 70-something yards, and you still win the game. Now, it was raining in York. It was a rainy game, but Jets couldn't do nothing. Broncos defense pretty good. Bo Nix struggled. I was watching that game. I was like, wow. So, we all know JJ McCarthy, he got hurt. Minnesota looking real good without him. That's going to be interesting if Sam Darnold continues to light it up. What happens with JJ McCarthy next year? Because Sam Darnold's still kind of young. He's not in his 30s or nothing like that. That's going to be interesting there, because if he lights it up, I think Darnold got 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions so far. By the way, Jacoby Brissett has 2 touchdowns and 1 interception in 4 games. Sam Darnold has 11 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in 4 games or whatnot. So, and Minnesota, while we talk, Minnesota plays the Jets in London this Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So that's going to be a pretty good game. I'll be talking about that later on this week too. But I think the reason why they don't want to put Drake out there right now is because of the offensive line, number one. And enough for the receiver. I don't think it's the receiver. The receivers are getting open. It starts up front with that daggone offensive line. That offensive line is horrific. It is terrible. It seems like time we get somebody back, somebody leaves, gets hurt again. And we haven't even gotten the David Andrews news yet. So until the offensive line get fixed, Drake May won't be playing. And I don't blame him. I don't want him out there. Just wait. At this point, I'm fine with not seeing him at all this year. Wait till next year. I know this is tough for the fans, probably tough for free agents that's willing to come to the team, but I'm fine not seeing him till next year. You got a lot of cap space next year. You're gonna have 10, you gonna have 10, 12 picks, probably. If you trade some players, you probably get about 10 picks. I can trade back in the draft. You probably have a top 5 pick. I let him redshirt this year. I know you want to kind of know what you have, but I'll let him redshirt. Yeah, I'll let him redshirt. I wouldn't play him right now. Now with that offensive line. Last thing, because if he got hurt, and I think from a fan standpoint, they kind of want him to play because it's exciting. They're tired of watching paint dry, watching Jacoby Brissett. They're tired of it. But Gerard Mayo says he's going to stick with the plan, and if the plan is to let him sit until he's ready or until they're ready for him, they got to stick with him. And I got to give it to them. They're being consistent. They're going to, that's what they're going to do. Then, hey, let's see. Let's just see. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens from there, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get my Monday Night Football prediction before I get off for the night. Real quick, Dolphins versus the Titans tonight. Titans are in Miami tonight. Tua is still out. He's gonna be out for the next couple of weeks. I don't think he should come back, but that's a conversation for another channel and another show because I ain't gonna give my 2 cents on that. But I think Tua should retire, and I don't think he should play again. Football, he did have 4 concussions in 2 years. He needs to sit down. I don't think he should play. Snoop Huntley, Tyler Huntley. Yeah, Tyler Huntley. He was with the Ravens. Kind of reminds me of Lamar a little bit. He played on the Baltimore a couple years. He came in and played decent under behind Lamar like a couple years ago. He played all right, but I think over time teams starting to figure him out. He's only been with the Dolphins like good for a good week. Remember last year they had Skylar Thompson and Tim Boyle as their quarterback. Last week again in Seattle, and that didn't turn out right. It was a mess. I think Skylar Thompson got hurt. I think Tennessee tonight, you got Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins, Tony Pollard. You got stars in the offense. Will Levis needs to play good tonight. If he doesn't, the heat's going to be on for him. The press, they're going to start calling for his job. His backup quarterback is Mason Rudolph. So I think tonight it's a big game for Will Levis. You're going up against a Dolphins team that don't have their starting quarterback. I think the Dolphins defense is okay. I don't think it's nothing to go crazy about. But I think Will Levis should have a good game. Remember, he started last year against the Dolphins on Monday Night Football, and they won. So this is kind of like a rematch game. Saint Titans at Dolphins. I got the Titans win this one in a close one. Will Levis, as long as he don't make a boneheaded play, I think they should be all right and win tonight. You don't know what you're gonna get from Tyler Huntley, Snoop Huntley, whatever they call him. I know he can run. Still got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but it's not two out there. So I think Tennessee sneaks out tonight with a win and maybe a big game from Calvin Ridley tonight and see what you can get out of Tony Pollard. I'm going to go with the Titans tonight. I'm going to say 23-16 Titans win tonight. Titans, they got to get in the win column. 0-3, I think they get into the win column tonight. And then, hey, we got Miami on Sunday, and I give my prediction later on the week for that game because I will be breaking that down the rest of the week. Seattle at Detroit. Fascinating game. Seattle is a very quiet 3-0. Nobody is talking about the Seattle Seahawks. I think they are underrated. They came to New England, beat us a couple weeks ago. DK Metcalf he's an animal. They got JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Tyler Lockett, 07 veteran. He's still playing good. Kenneth Walker's back tonight. Geno Smith has been reinvented. He's been playing some good ball. So they got a lot of injuries on defense though. I think Boye Maffei's out. A couple of defensive linemen out. So I want to see the matchup tonight with Detroit. Detroit's home coming off a big win against Arizona last week. Detroit is 2-1. So they've been up and down, but they're 2-1. See if they can hold foot tonight against Seattle. I think they will. I'm gonna go with Detroit, the home team tonight. And I think the injuries from Seattle gonna kind of hurt them. Can't believe they got so many injuries on defense. I'm gonna go. I think Detroit puts up 20. I'm going to say 26-21. 26-21, Detroit wins tonight. I think Jahmyr Gibbs has a big game. Big game. And St. Brown. I think St. Brown will have a big game. And I want to see the interesting matchup with Tariq Woolen and St. Brown. But I think St. Brown gets the betterment of that. Keep in mind, Seattle has kind of had Detroit number the past couple of years. A lot of people don't know about that. I kept up with that. They've been to Detroit the past couple years, 2023 and 2022, and they came out with a win. Crazy. They played good in Detroit. So this could be an interesting game coming on at 8, man. You got 2 games tonight. So this could be an interesting game tonight. I can't wait for that one right there. But I think Detroit finally gets over the hump, and I think they beat Seattle tonight. Seattle's nice little run. When I like Seattle as a team, they playing some good ball. Excuse me. I actually think they're kind of underrated this year. I think they get over the hump and they finally beat Seattle tonight. But if Seattle can win in Detroit, Monday Night Football, I think a lot of people start taking them a lot more serious because Seattle's a team that hasn't really been getting a lot of publicity lately. And I think that's one of the main reasons why nobody's really talking about Seattle. But Seattle's they're a pretty good football team. And they've been proving it. They're a pretty good football team. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens in that. But the game is about to start, and like I said, I will be rolling with the Titans tonight and the Detroit Lions, man. That's gonna be it for the night. I appreciate all y'all joining me. Join me again on Wednesday. I might come live tomorrow night too, so y'all just stay tuned for that. But just join me again tomorrow or Wednesday. I'll be live 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you check me out. Hey, also before I get off and before y'all get off, if y'all gonna check me out later tonight, see that thumbs up on the YouTube. Give me that thumbs up. Hit that like button. Give me a thumbs up on the YouTube. On Twitter, make sure you share the content. Facebook, share it. LinkedIn, share it. Wherever you at, make sure you share the content. I appreciate it. Don't take but a second. That's all it takes. It don't take but a second of your time to hit that like button, man. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to make sure you subscribe on YouTube. I get with y'all tomorrow night. Make sure y'all check me out later on night. Hit the link in the bio. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube. Give me thumbs up. I appreciate it. And y'all have a good one. Enjoy the game.